execution level next. No way to explain it. I'm XXX, triple X rated.
Hey guys, thank you for checking out my channel. This is your dude Merchant Auto coming at you with my first official video. If you don't know what we're about, we're going to be doing a lot of sports talk over here. Houston Texans football, Astros, Rockets, any of that. If you're a Patriots fan, I gotta be real, I'm not a big fan of y'all, but hey, if you're a Patriots fan, Ravens fan, anything like that, let me know your team. I'll give y'all a shout out, maybe talk about y'all a little bit if I have the time. Alright, but right now I want to talk about this Houston Texans Jacksonville Jaguars game that went down yesterday morning at the crack of dawn in London. And the Texans really showed up to that game. I mean, a lot of the fans probably weren't awake yet stateside, but dang, was that defense awake because they showed up holding Leonard Fournette to only 40 yards and picking off Garner Minshew twice. Something I don't think has happened in a single game for him yet to this year. I'll have to check on that for sure. But nah, this defense was sharp, and honestly, they were playing championship football there, which we haven't really seen much out of the Texans on a consistent level. But if they consistently show up week after week, we got a chance at a championship run here. I really want to talk about Brennan Scarlett today because I'm not hearing a lot of people talk about him. And this man had a pretty good game. He racked up 2 sacks, a tackle for a loss, and 3 quarterback hits on the day. And Garner Minshew, he's not the most elusive dude on earth, but he ain't slow either. He can move around, so that's extremely impressive coming out of him. Man, this kid just continues to impress. I'm happy the Texans locked him up when they did because he's having a pretty decent season this year. Next, I want to talk about that secondary because that secondary shut Garner down. As I said earlier, coming up with 2 interceptions, and they were nowhere near healthy this week. Let's see, I know Gibson was out, Roby was out, and Lonnie Johnson was out. And those 3 guys, those are pinnacle in our freaking defense. So I want to give a round of applause, honestly, to Garyon Conley because he showed up. And shout out to Bill O'Brien for even making that trade happen. Because without him this week, I really don't think we come out of here with a win. He shut their receivers down, honestly, because he took their number one out of the game. I think he was only targeted like 6 or 7 times throughout the entire game. And if they ain't throwing at you that much, then yeah, you ain't open. So yeah, the defense really showed up this week, and got to applaud them on that, holding Jacksonville to only 3 points. And I mean, I know it could have been 6, but they messed up a field goal. But I don't want to take away from what the defense did because they messed up. So next, I want to get into this offense because this offense was running. They were, again, just as the defense, they were playing championship football. I want to talk about Carlos Hyde first because this man's really come in and just cemented himself as the number one back. And honestly, if the Texans lock him up, he could be our back for the next couple of years. Carlos ran for 160 yards. Didn't have any touchdowns, even though he probably should have, but he fumbled on the 1 yard line. Can't be doing that, but I'm not too upset because honestly, the game was in hand at that point. We had all the momentum, but in the future, if he holds on to that, in most games, he's not going to fumble there. So really like what I saw out of him today or yesterday. I also want to talk about this offensive line because Carlos Hyde wouldn't have been able to do any of that if it wasn't for the offensive line making holes and honestly getting the push. Titus Howard back in the lineup this week. We were missing Laramie Tunsil, so I was kind of worried about that. But back to Titus. When Titus was drafted in the first round, a lot of people laughed at the selection. I mean, I know I wasn't all for it by any means of the word, but he's really shown up and he's cementing himself as our future right tackle. He's great at the run block, and we saw that this week. Get Titus back out there, and all of a sudden the running game really starts to pick up again. Excited to see what happens when Tunsil gets back, hopefully after this bye week, because I really think we have a good offensive line at this point. Lock up those contracts, and I think we'll be good heading forward. And all that's going to do heading forward is set up my man Deshaun Watson. Now, Deshaun this game didn't have eye-popping stats, but he made all of the eye-popping plays. Throwing for 201 yards and 2 touchdowns. Not to mention what he did with his legs this game, because we don't want to forget about that. That man can run. But yeah, Deshaun really lit it up, looking like Michael Jordan out there. Oh man, I don't remember which linebacker he hurdled, but I mean that was just beautiful. Honestly, the ref should have given him that touchdown. I don't know why they didn't. I think it was stupid they didn't give the man that touchdown. But yeah, Deshaun coming out after that eye injury and really putting to bed any worry about his health this game. Just got to give a shout out to Deshaun. And I also want to talk about Duke Johnson, the second string running back. This man had a breakout game. He had 68 yards receiving. He was averaging 13.6 yards a catch this game. And I remember one play they rolled him out in just a line pass down the line of scrimmage. He made a few guys miss and got a few yards. I can't remember the last time I've seen the Texans pull off that kind of a play. And if we can get that kind of play out of him on a weekly basis, this team really could go and do some things in the playoffs. I'm talking a deep playoff run here. Um, and once we get my man Will Fuller back, ooh. Also, I don't know what's going on with Kiki Kuti right now. I haven't really seen anything about it, but he seems to be in the doghouse right now. Got no playing time. I don't think I saw him in one play, and the injury report's clear. He's not on that, so he must have pissed someone off. Probably Billy, old boy. So yeah, just to wrap this up, I want to talk about coaching a little bit. This is probably one of the first games all year where I've seen Bill O'Brien and Romeo come out with two really good game plans that were executed correctly. Um, these two guys, I think they get a lot more crap than they really should. I'm by no means is Bill O'Brien, a Bill Belichick or something, but I do got to say they've had a few games and they've come out slow, but when they're both clicking, they are a dangerous coaching duo because they're both Bill Belichick disciples, and the Patriots have been so successful up there with so little. And I really think it's kind of blasphemy in Houston, kind of blasphemy. But I'm saying Bill O'Brien had a damn good game this week. And if he can keep coaching this way at a consistent level, again, pairing that with this offensive performance and the defensive performance, I really think this Houston Texans team could make a deep championship run. And I think we'll learn a lot more about them these next 3 weeks after the bye. I know we got we're going to the Ravens, I believe, right out of the bye week. We're gonna take a Lamar Jackson who just took down the Patriots the other night. Then we have the Colts coming here, and I'm gonna wait to see how that's gonna look up because I know Jacoby Brissett got injured in the last game. They're saying it's an MCL sprain, so I don't know how long he's gonna be out with that. But I gotta be, I would love to see Brian Hoyer lead the Colts into NRG. I think that'd be a sweet revenge game for us. Get him back for, yeah, we don't talk about that season. And the week after that, Monday Night Football with the Patriots. That game is going to tell us a lot about what this team's going to take into the playoffs. As long as we're healthy, I really expect that game to help really set the stage for the playoff push. Um, so yeah, thank you all for checking out my first video. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. As I said earlier, if you're a sports fan of another team, drop it down below. Let me know what's going on. I'll talk about them a little bit. We'll get you all some information, some news, sharpen it up. Yeah, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you all in the next one.